चहकते नए चेहरों से सजा, चहकते नए चेहरों से सजा इस विधि विश्वविद्यालय का आंगन है। आगाज है नए सफर का लक्ष्य की ओर, आगाज है नए सफर का लक्ष्य की ओर। प्रारंभ आज से दीक्षारंभ है, प्रारंभ आज से दीक्षारंभ। A very good morning and heartiest welcome to our President of the program, Honorable Mr. Justice Deekshaarambh, Judge, Himachal Pradesh High Court, Shimla. Our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. B.B.A.L.L.B, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Hidayatullah National Law University, Raipur. Our esteemed guest of honor, Advocate Akshay Pathak, Principal Associate, Khaitan and Company. Our worthy Professor Dr. P.T. Saxena, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh, National Law University, Shimla. Professor Dr. S.S. Tiswal, Registrar, Himachal Pradesh, National Law University, Shimla. Galaxy of intellectuals, fellow faculty members, our most valued students, and their parents. It gives me immense pleasure to extend to you all a very warm greeting on the behalf of Himachal Pradesh National Law University in the inaugural session of our orientation program, Deekshaarambh. Gautam Buddha has once said, if you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your path. The light of intellect, knowledge, and wisdom is seen as much as we spread this light. It enlightens our own mind as well. To mark the beginning, let us ignite the light before us as a symbol of hope, a symbol of ritual, a symbol of unity, and of course, a symbol of intellectual growth. May I please invite the dignitaries to light the auspicious lamp to illuminate our path towards a brighter future for all. Dr. Santosh. I request Honorable Vice Chancellor Ma'am to kindly felicitate our esteemed guest. I would like to invite our alumnus Mr. Tejasvi Shukla for the felicitation. He's associate at J. Sagar Associates. Plato has rightly said, music gives soul to the universe and wings to the mind. The quality of an institution reflects the vision, aspiration, traditions of its members. It is the music of pride and joy with a promise to deliver the best. I request all of you to kindly rise for the quality of Himachal Pradesh National Law University Shimla.
योगः करं सुकौशलम् योगः करं सुकौशलम् हिमाचल प्रदेश राष्ट्र विधि तक जिसका दूरदर्शिता आसमान की परतें चिरे हवाएं झूम झूम नाम ले जिसका बर्फ कोमलता में दृढ़ता भरे देवित्य विधि के हर विधान की झुके कर वेदी है संविधान की प्यार करे शक्ति शासन के प्राण की और अपने भारत देश महान की वीर बने कानूनी मदद का दरिया बहा वाद विवाद प्रतिद्वंदी बने इनके आंचल से चुरा सफेदी चलाओ न्यायालय संस्कारों से मिटाए अन्याय श्वेत श्याम वर्दी बड़े देवभूमि की जिससे न्याय की देवी का रूप सजा जहां स्थापित करे सिंहासन सुनहरा कुंदन बन संवरे विद्यार्थी सारे जग में हिमाचल प्रदेश राष्ट्र विधि विश्वविद्यालय विश्व गुरु बनना है क्यों ना गुरूर करें
law in India. The university has received unprecedented expansion and transformation best suited for holistic and academic development of students. The university is committed to provide interdisciplinary and practical application-based legal education, keeping in view the requirements of the overall growth of its students. This orientation program is the first step to nurture a bond between the existing HPNLU family and, of course, our newly admitted students. I those wonderful and everlasting memories when I entered as a law student in my hostel. Today I can see, of course, I can see those nostalgic and similar glimpses of amalgamation of emotions and aspirations on the faces of our newcomers. That rejoice of victory, that yes, we have cracked the CLAT entrance exam, the excitement and enthusiasm of joining a new institute with millions of dreams, a promising approach to deliver and achieve. But you know what? There is always a little dilemma behind the corner of the mind. That how the new things will begin, whether we'll be able to conquer our dreams and goals with utmost capability. So here I have a solution to transform your doubts and dilemma into the strong determination and right direction. The motivating force and inspirational words of Professor Dr. P.P. Saxena, our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Ma'am is navigating our university and directing all of us seamlessly to achieve excellence in its goals. Ma'am is an exceptionally noted academician, a woman of highest standards of intellect, a leader with leadership in vision, leadership in integrity, and leadership in excellence. For an institution to grow, nurturing with the right vision in the right direction is imperative. On that note, I would proudly say that there is a guiding force in this journey with us. A woman of strength, a woman of determination, and a woman of high intellect. Professor Dr. Preeti Saxena. I humbly for duty from the lecture.
Thank you, Dr. Shefali. A very good morning to one and all in the hall. It really gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all in the Himachal Pradesh National Law University, Shimla. On behalf of the Himachal Pradesh National Law University, I extend my warm welcome to all of you in this inaugural session of Deekshaarambh 2025. I welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Sandeep Sharma, Judge Himachal Pradesh High Court, Shimla, who, despite his busy schedule and also being a Saturday holiday, agreed to preside over the Deekshaarambh 2025 of this university. Sir, we are indeed grateful to you for your precious presence. Welcome you, sir. I welcome Professor V.C. Vivekanandan, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Hidayatullah National Law University, Raipur, as the chief guest of this Deekshaarambh program. Sir, we are really thankful for accepting our invitation and giving us your precious time to be with us today from your extremely busy schedule and spanning 1 day for coming and 1 day for leaving this university. So it's a 3-day work for this program. I welcome Advocate Akshay Pathak, his Principal Associate Ketan and Company, the guest of honor for this inaugural session, Deekshaarambh. Welcome, Akshay. I welcome my teaching and non-teaching colleagues from the HPNLU, the parents and very, very dear students who are present here. First of all, I would like to congratulate you all, the students who have joined this HPNLU for this session. Here I am just violating one rule, that is of the family planning. I am accepting you all my children in my family So there is a limit of 2 children. And we are accepting 260 children in this parivar. Today, this stage is graced by the distinguished personalities, the judges, the vice chancellors, and the leading advocates who represent the very heights of the legal profession. These are the careers many of you aspire for. And it is for this dream and this journey that you are here today. Today is a special day for all of you. Your first step to start the journey of your dreams is welcome. Your presence in this Deekshaarambh, your hard work to secure the admission to this prestigious law university is acknowledged by all of us. Today, each one of you, and we are also here together just to recognize and to appreciate the time and efforts you have devoted to reach to this destination. And we are here to shape the future of yours in the law field. The Himachal Pradesh National Law University was established in 2016, and it is in the 9th year of its existence. The university set SAT. That is the student, employees, and teachers. Without that set, the university cannot grow. And this set is started growing in 2016, together moving ahead and celebrating its success, big or small, no matter. Located in the geographical trines of Himalayas, HPNLU Shimla is the best place to study and learning law, developing in students understanding about the law and legal systems, legal practice, and administration. Besides the achievements of the students and the alumni, Tejasvi is here, and of course, the faculty and climatic conditions, environmental privileges of this place make this university one of the most sought after the law university within the 9 years of its existence. The university has attracted excellent set of teachers from all over India. Today's program is designed to introduce you to the academic culture, infrastructure of the university, faculty, and support system. It will be helpful in your journey here as a law student, and the next 5 years for our UG students and 1 year for our PG students in the university are going to be very, very transformative. I urge you to make the most of the opportunity here, whether in the classroom, in the courtroom, because you will be taken to the courts also, and of course in the community, because we are having the 5 villages adopted for your community work. So these are going to be very, very, good for you. Our curriculum is formulated at par with the best law universities, not only in India, across the globe. We are not confined to the lecture halls, but we are working in the legal clinics and going to the fields. The study of law is not merely about learning rules, regulations, acts, statutes, and case laws, but it is about understanding the justice, upholding constitutional values, and becoming the voice of those who cannot speak for themselves. You are those persons who are going to speak on behalf of those who cannot place themselves before the authorities. You are going to be their representatives. So you have to be very, very cautious about that. Law has the power to transform the societies, and it is in your hands now that the entire responsibility is yours. How you are using it, you have to use it very, very wisely. So engage deeply with your subjects, participate in moot courts, in legal aid clinics, in internships, debate, sports, extracurricular activities, then question, collaborate, and excel. Choosing law is not just choosing a profession. It is embracing a calling from those who cannot speak, as I told you. You will learn not only to argue the cases, but also to think critically, question deeply, and act ethically. Your approach in this journey must be filled with curiosity, humility, and of course, discipline, which is very important for any academic institution. You are supposed to read widely, not just the law, because it's an integrated degree, so you need to read widely the history, the political science, economics, philosophy, every subject which is going to make you more understand what the law says, what the law is, because law is for the society to regulate the behavior. So engage with your teachers and peers in healthy debate because law thrives in dialogue. And most importantly, never forget that the ultimate purpose of the law is justice, fairness, and human dignity. The university will provide you with the opportunities and the environment to grow academically, professionally, as well as personally. But remember, this responsibility of learning lies equally with you. Make use of the library, which is totally automated. Make use of your faculty members and various platforms which are available. Push yourself beyond the comfort zones. As you begin your journey, I want to remind you that the legal profession demands courage. At times, you may be alone, your voice may stand against injustice. At times, you may be challenged to balance the competing rights and interests, but always let the Constitution of India as your guiding star, which speaks about equality, liberty, and justice. So, with these words, thank you. Welcome again to this orientation program. Deekshaarambh. And your exciting journey begins from here. So I'm just going to have a look on a 5 minutes PPT, which is going to show you what we are doing in this university. Please, Noobji. So this is a very beautiful view of our university. We again extend our heartiest welcome. The university started in 2016. ये आप मुझे देंगे इतना देर लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है because we are having others also. So the visitor of our university is Honorable Mr. Justice M.M. Sundaresh, Judge Supreme Court of India, and our Chancellor, Honorable Mr. Justice Gurmeet Singh Sandhawalia, Chief Justice of Himachal Pradesh High Court. This is the governance system in our university. The office of the Vice Chancellor. So you just see and just try to acknowledge that to whom you met so far and to whom you are going to meet in this 5-year period. So they are the administrators of the university along with the academicians. Dean Academic Affairs, the most sought teacher in the university for students, the entire team of the Department of Law, Department of Management, and the PhD. The student welfare, so the second person to whom you are going to meet, and you are meeting also since 30th of July, Dean Student Welfare, Dr. Sachin and his team. So they are our professor of practice. They do come here to deliver the lectures. They are our eminent professors from India and abroad also. They are the professors of the university, the associate professors, and the assistant professors. As we are having the B.A.L.L.B and B.B.A.L.L.B, so we are the teachers from the arts and the management stream also. They are the research associates. We have the 8 research centers and after joining the classes from 4th of August, you are going to be the part of these centers. They are the research centers. The universities is having so many committees and cells for your enrichment, for facilitating you. We are having two university journals. One is the UGC Care Journal, and the other journals are also there. We are publishing it regularly. The academic programs are B.A.L.L.B, B.B.A.L.B, LL.M, MBA 2 years, PhD program, as well as the LLD program. Our library, you have to visit today itself physically, then you will be understanding as to what we have for you in the library. It is totally automated. Many of the journals are there online as well as offline, print books, all the things are there which you require. We have so many memorandum of understanding with this many of the universities and academic institutions nationally as well as internationally. 30th national MOUs and 2 international MOUs, all are functional. And we do research, we do participate, we do publish and act together in collaboration. So this time we had the second convocation of the university on 30th March. So you are going to excel in the sports and extracurricular fields also. Many of the opportunities you will be having in Drona. Our sports chairperson, Dr. Praveen, will take you. There are Rotary Club as well as the Youth Red Cross, which is again going to make some difference in your life. We have the facilities like medical facilities, mess. Some of the hostels are coming up, some hostels are there. Ambulance, buses, gym for girls and boys separate. Girls common room, which are the basic requirements. The students, they are achieving so many things. They are getting the certificates of achievements in different occasions. And in the June result, we got our students for LL.M, NET and JRF. So this is a limited number of students which we could not be having the entire data so far, but we are getting the data. So this number is going to increase. Now students are achieving every time with new things. Sports, it's cultural activities, both. The students, they are also participating in not only the moods in India, but abroad also. They are getting recognized and getting the awards from there also. Thank you. And one more thing, that NCC and NSS is coming soon, so you'll be getting this participation in these two things also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As Sanskrit shloka beautifully says, Guru Kripa hi kevalam shishyam sata patham naye, which means it is only the Guru's grace that leads the student to the right path. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your profound and inspiring address that set the tone for this new academic journey, Deekshaarambh 2025. Dear learners, today you will hear not just from a scholar of law, but from a young torchbearer of the corporate legal realm. At the very outset, I, Dr. Chandrika, on behalf of HPNLU, welcome Mr. Akshay Pathak, Principal Associate in Khetan and Company, as our guest of honor for today's program. Mr. Pathak brings with him a wealth of experience in the field of mergers and acquisitions, private equity, and strategic corporate transactions. Prior to his current role, he served as a principal associate at Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas, New Delhi, one of India's most prestigious law firms. Over the years, Mr. Pathak has advised several high-profile clients, including PVR Limited, ExxonMobil India, Ellen Career Institute, and Crafton Incorporated, among others. His work spans critical sectors such as e-commerce, gaming, manufacturing, and finance, and includes handling multi-million-dollar fundraisers, complex asset transfers, and cross-border investments. Sir, I welcome you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that kind intro. Just to give, and first and foremost, I welcome all of you. I understand that we have a gathering of the undergrads as well as the postgraduate students, right? So first of all, I welcome all of you. You are both batches. This is irrespective of whether you are PG or UG student. It's a new journey altogether. And obviously, when you start your journey right after, some of you have just started your journey right after your school, right? And some of you have completed your law, and something prompted you to take this decision to try out LLM. Maybe some of you want to give net. We'll discuss that later. And before that, I would also want to thank this institution for having me over. I have huge regard for all the dignitaries out here who have taken so much time, effort, because I understand it takes a lot. They are much more experienced than me, much more. They have a much more busier schedule than me. So you should also appreciate the fact that they are here just for your sake, right? So with that, see, I'll stick to the point. See, there are 10 rosy things which I can tell you, but since you've joined this law school, there's a purpose attached to it, right? I'll try to be as honest as possible because I was in your position couple of years back, right? So this side might be a bit more relaxed because you've just completed your 12th. You want to explore, you want to see how life goes, and then maybe you'll take this decision whether you want to do corporate law, whether you want to do litigation. Towards my left, there are students who have completed their law, right? And now you want to venture out into the world and do something of your own or give some exam, right? So from that perspective, my role here is to just lay down a roadmap for a perfect law school life for both the right side as well as the left side. I'll stick to only this and nothing else. And then obviously it will be up to you to take the conscious call what you think is relevant for you and what you think is not relevant for you. Because please understand, irrespective of whether you are a corporate lawyer or an IPR specialist, a litigator, you have your own practice, irrespective of that, you'll have to understand that role of a lawyer now is not just limited to that of a rock-clad barrister who's arguing in a court of law. Even a practicing advocate has to more than often wear that commercial hat, right? And often when we are young, we overlook this aspect, right? So how to hone our skills to ensure that we are a complete lawyer and not just someone who has mucked up bare acts. Whilst knowledge of law obviously is something which you can't skip, but the practical application of the law, how to go about it, is something which is very important. Because see, I'm very sure that students who are seated on my right, 90% of them, they haven't decided what they want to do after they are done with their law, right? It'll take them at least, now kids are, or I should not call kids, now students are much more smarter. Within a year or so, they're able to understand what they want to do. When I was in law school, I was clueless, right? Especially in the first 2 years. But I see, like, we have students coming from their third year, fourth year, who are very clear that we want to specialize in this practice of law, right? They have that clarity. Though I have a divergent view with respect to having clarity, we'll come to that later. But I just want you to tell, I just want all of you to understand that you should always have a roadmap once you join any curriculum. And this roadmap can't be a general one. It can't be the same for PG students what it is for UG, right? And see, I have also been on that side. I was also sitting a couple of years back, listening to someone who came to my orientation, and being with all honesty, I don't think I paid that much attention, right? It was after a couple of years that few things which the gentleman said, I was able to recall, and I felt that, okay, that made sense. So with that in mind, I'll just lay down a map for the post PG students as well as the UG students. What you should exactly do, depending on what you want to do ahead. And I'll lay down, I'll see. Obviously, we have paucity of time, so I'll try to be as brief as possible. Right. I'll start with the PG students, right? For PG students, it's just a 1-year curriculum, right? Hope I'm right. After that, the opportunities available, obviously there are plethora of opportunities, but I'm talking in terms of the general opportunities which you must be aware of, right? You can complete your LLM and opt for some other course as well. So that I can't comment on. But given that you're doing LLM, I'll tell you what are the major opportunities available, what you can do, and what you should do to make sure that you're the first one to grab it, right? As ma'am was also projecting that there are a couple of students who have cleared UGC net exam, right? That is one of the opportunities that is available. That is for those who want to go into academics, which is obviously one of the most esteemed professions, respected. And if you are sitting on this side, you will be shaping the future generations, right? So with that in mind, you have to, and this conscious decision you'll have to take in the next, hopefully in the next 2 months, 3 months, and don't delay it any further. And once you have taken that conscious decision, go through the curriculum, see what is the syllabus, go through the past year papers. Maybe what I'm saying might be sounding very boring to 90% of you, but please do that. It will help you. It's easier for me to give a very generic lecture on how to succeed, but I want to be very specific so that at least if one of you or 5 of you are able to grasp what I say, you may be able to benefit out of that. That is for next people who are going to give next 2 months. You should make up your mind and understand, decide if you want to go that way, right? Then there could be some people who want to appear for competitive exams, right? Now for judiciary, obviously we have this 3-year. There's a judgment which says that you have to compulsory practice for three years. Then obviously you have a window for those who want to prepare. So I'm not dwelling into that. But for those who want to, let's say, work in a law firm, right? And I'm just being, I just want to this session to be a bit interactive. Like how many of you from the PG side want to work in law firms? There are a couple of you who want to work in law firms, right? So from that perspective, you will have to understand that your next step should be to secure an internship as soon as possible, right? You'll have to send like 50 emails, get in touch with the relevant people, get in touch with your faculties, approach them, right? If you don't approach people, if you don't ask, this is the same. If you don't ask, the answer is always no, right? So from that perspective, please do that. Then if you want to, let's say, prepare for some competitive exams, you have to obviously focus on your curriculum. Please don't ignore marks, right? A lot of times I have seen students thinking that marks don't matter. Sorry, marks do matter. If things go haywire, God forbid, let's say your plan doesn't work out, then your marks, your CV is the only thing which will make you stand out, right? If you're applying for random jobs, if it's not a law firm related job, if it's in-house role, and there are so many in-house roles which will open a lot of doors for you. You'll see general counsels of listed companies who have spent 15 years working in one company. So and please understand that you have a paucity of time, right? So from that perspective, I would you to be more focused. In the next 1 month, you should decide what you have to do and then take a step. Then coming to the UG students, you have just graduated from law school. You have 5 years. While 5 years may appear to be a long period of time, I'm genuinely telling you, you may realize in your 3rd year that there were 20 things which you could have done better. And if you want, you can get in touch with the PG students. I'm sure if you make friends with PG students, some of them will share their experiences that I wish things would have been different had I done XYZ things. I'm very sure, like some of you have that thing in mind that I could have done XYZ things better, right? So a lot of things, a lot of people see there is no rocket science, there's no fixed roadmap. What I'm sharing is basis my experience and basis my experience working with juniors, because a lot of juniors work with me, who join my team, who come from various law schools, including national law schools, non-national law schools, By the way, I'm not from any national law school, right? So again, this a lot of people have this thing in mind that okay, law firms only hire from not just national law schools, only 5, 6 national law schools, right? How many of you, the UG students, know about law firms? Who have heard about? How many of you have heard about Chetan? I'm surprised because when I was in my first year, I was I was I had no idea. It means that you already have a good start, right? Sorry, I'm looking at my watch time and again because I don't want this session to get delayed and don't want to keep anyone waiting. So pardon me. Yeah. So for 5 year law students, please don't value your time. And these bullet points, I wish someone would have told me. My journey would have been easier. Write research papers, as ma'am also very correctly pointed out. Read, develop a habit of reading. I'm sure some now I think when my English teacher in my class 9th used to tell me, I used to feel that why do I need to read? I'm already reading so much literature. I have books and all. Why do I need to read newspapers? But as a lawyer, if you have excellent reading skills, if your reading speed is great, you'll obviously be and without hesitation, I can tell you, you'll be ahead of 40 to 50% of your batch, not just batch of the see. You always remember. A lot of times, what happens is that we live in an island of intellectuals. Let's say you get your batch rank of 3. Whilst that is excellent, that's an excellent feat. Getting batch rank of 3, rank 3 in a semester. Please understand, your competition is not just 180 students. You're competing with 100 or maybe more than 100 law schools with 100 plus students graduating every year. And now, strictly, since so many of you raise hands for law firms, there are 6, 7, or maybe now there are more who are better paying. But I'm talking about the ones who hire more in bulk, right? There are 6 to 7 such law firms, right? They hire on an average, some hire more, some hire less. So, average is 50 hirings by 6 law firms. Now, you do the maths. Some like 100 law schools producing 100 students, and I'm sure there are more than 100. 100 is a small number I'm talking about. Do the math. Your competition, if you want to start and be at the top of your game and be amongst those 300 lawyers who start their career with, let's say, a CAM, SAM. Again, I'm not advertising any law firm. Every law firm does excellent work. If you're a lawyer, you have your own brand value. If you are smart enough, you can be from any. You can be doing independent practice, and if you're very good, you'll do fine, right? So I'm not advertising any law firm, but if for a lot of people, there are various reasons for opting law for PG as well as UG. While obviously the purpose of law is to serve justice, we have to be recognized. I want to make sure that whatever I do adds some value, which as a lawyer you get excellent opportunity to. It opens a lot of doors and connections, right? But for many people, money is one of the factors. Some years down the lane, somewhere or the other, especially for PG students, I'm telling, because I can see smiling faces, because they have seen those 5 years. Somewhere down the line, they have this component in their mind. And this topic, why I'm mentioning this, is in context of you competing for those 300 roles. There are many roles, but I'm talking about those cream positions, right? In law firms, if that is the case, I'm not saying that only law firm jobs are this thing. There are in-house roles. You can go for JAG, right? You can go for LAMP fellowship. You can go for maybe LL.M if you have good grades, good recommendation. You can pursue LL.M from foreign universities. But if law firm, since so many of you raise your hand, if that is the case, then you are competing against lakhs of students for those 300 seats. Let me triple it. Because there could be other firms who are paying a bit less but who are equally good, right? So lakh against lakh students fighting for those 900 seats. So obviously you have to do you then from that perspective, you can't take a back seat and either wait for your college to do something for you because I feel that to be very unfair. And in these situations, I'm very blunt, so to say. You can't expect your college to spoon feed you an opportunity. They are there to uh, act as a catalyst to make you grow, to give you knowledge, so that your personality is such that you will find your way, right? A lot of times in the initial years, I have, since I interact with students, they just fall back thinking that my college will do something for me. Please understand that is not the role of an educational institution. They are here to uh, do the best for you, to educate you, not to spoon feeding. In terms of knowledge and opportunity are two different things. They're already doing their best, and this I'm talking about a general statement, not specific to any organization. I never expected this from my law school. Or if you're doing something else also in your life, or some other degree, don't have such expectations. You have to upskill yourself using the resources which this excellent organization is offering you, right? Research papers. So to cut it short, write research papers. You don't write, then be criticized, improve, repeat. Write something, be criticized, let other people, your seniors, say this is not correct, then again repeat, right? Write research papers, learn the citation styles, Blue Book or Schola, whatever the citation styles are. I'm sure all this is sounding very new to you. PG students would be aware, but and if you have time, even you should do it, right? Because at the end of the day, all this matters. It's for your CV. Write research papers, go for conferences if you get time, if you have the bandwidth. Participate in moot court competition. Even if you're not selected, it's okay. I'm sure this university, seeing the infrastructure, seeing how active faculties are, how active ma'am is, how active sir is, I'm sure there's a active moot court society in this college. Now, every year you will have internal round for selection. Irrespective whether you are selected or not, please go and participate. Right? You'll not understand that mooting is not for a certificate. Initial 2 moots, I'll not lie, I did only for a certificate. Right? I was maybe lucky I got selected in those top 20 students. But then when I had to represent my college, it was just for a certificate. And that's the reason why I didn't win those 2 moots. I got eliminated in the first round itself because I was doing it just for the heck of it. And that's not how you have to pour your heart in the competition. And that is not just for winning or losing. A practical application, and I'm not comparing a court with a moot court. Those are two different things. But those are totally two different things. You can't compare. You could be an excellent moot court orator, but may not do well at litigation, right? That's a different thing. But the basic skill set which you learn, I consider moot court to be the mother of all competition in a law school. You are able to learn about researching, drafting, everything. So, right, in your first years, you can't move. Maybe your college may not allow you to represent the university. Right? Write research papers, intern in maybe NGOs, go to courts just to understand if you are permitted, if your college is allowing you, just to observe, just to acquaint and familiarize yourself with how lawyers behave, how they talk, how they carry themselves. First year intern in some NGO, some organization, just to learn those basic professional etiquettes, that you have to reach on time, how you have to flag a document. From your second or third year onwards, participate in moot courts, intern as much as possible. Please have a LinkedIn account, active LinkedIn account. If you don't have it, I'm sure how many of you have? Back then, no one used to have. I'm sure you, like ma'am, already you have an excellent batch of students. You won't have to spend too much time on them. Have an active LinkedIn account. Keep on updating any legal update. Even if a lot of times we hesitate that what we are writing is not making sense, right? That people may judge us. It's okay. Let it be. You'll make a mistake. It's better to get judged, be forgiven in the initial years, than not take that bold step and make a mistake when you're in your final year, or worse, you haven't done anything at all, right? If you're that image conscious, get it vetted by a professor. I'm sure with the kind of faculty, excellent faculty you guys have, they'll be more than happy to read few lines, right? Don't write a 3-pager, Just one paragraph, even if it's about paraphrasing the law, do it, right? Apply to as many organizations as possible. Lot of times, and when I say lot of times, it is me. Whatever, when I'm saying a lot of times students do this, that, which is wrong, I have done all this, and now I'm sharing my experience. That's why I've so far not given you any general gyan. It's strictly basis what you have to do. Lot of times students, which I have also done, send internship applications to random organizations and they don't follow up. First application sent is as good as you not applying. Just remember this. Sending an application once to any organization is as good as not applying. Right? If you're in your third year, if you're applying, people are ignoring your emails, it's okay. They'll not feel bad. There are 10 other kids doing the same. It's the hit and trial method. Reach out to people, speak to people, try to send them some article, right? And the last thing which I'll share with you, it is for those who think that they can't speak well. And a lot of times this goes unaddressed. If I ask right now, how many of you feel that you can't speak well? I'm not sure whether 50% of you will raise their hand, right? You'll feel hesitant, conscious about. Please understand that this will improve only if you answer in class. Let two people laugh. That's okay. I consider myself to be a very average orator, and from what I was in first year, I feel I have improved. I have a lot to learn, but I have improved, and that was because I was also told that participate in class. You could be wrong, but the more you speak, the more. And this is strictly for those who feel that maybe that they don't have that gift of gab, right? Otherwise, I would I think I've briefly covered everything. I welcome all of you for this curriculum, both UG students as well as PG, and happy to guide any of you if in whatever capacity I can going forward also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights of corporate world, real world legal opportunities, and reminding the students that passion with financial matters do really matter. I'm sanguine that these words will serve as a source of inspiration. Now, dear scholars, after a glimpse into the dynamic world of practice, it is time to turn to the wisdom of Guru, a guide, a visionary, whose presence among us today is both a privilege and a blessing. Our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. V.C. Vivekanandan, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Hidayatullah National Law University, Raipur, is a distinguished legal academician with over 3 decades of teaching and research experience in premier institutions such as NLSIU Bangalore and NALSA Hyderabad. Sir has served in key leadership roles, including Dean at the Rajiv Gandhi School of Intellectual Property Law, IIT Kharagpur, and as the founding Dean of the School of Law at Bennett University. A scholar with deep expertise in intellectual property law and internet law, he has held MHRD Chair Professorship twice and represented the Government of India at international forums, including the WIPO SCCR meetings at Geneva. He was also a part of ICANN's ALEC and nomination committees and the founding director of the Legal Information Institute of India under the Free Access to Law movement. He has been a visiting scholar at renowned global institutions like Maastricht University, the Institute of Intellectual Property in Tokyo, and an adjunct professor at SUNY Buffalo since 2007. Professor Vivekanandan has pioneered several academic initiatives, including distance and continuing legal education programs at NALSA, and has contributed significantly to IP policy development in India. Thanks, sir. I welcome you.
Honorable Mr. Justice Sandeep Sharma, Judge of High Court of Himachal Pradesh, Vice Chancellor of HPNLU, Professor Preeti Saxena, advocates who is representing here, Registrar of HPNLU, Professor Jaswal, faculty of HPNLU, freshers of HPNLU, parents, staff, and invited guests. It's my pleasure and privilege to address the freshers joining today at HPNLU and would like to thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor of HPNLU and the organizers for inviting me. For those in the field of education, it could be a routine affair every year, welcoming and inducting a new batch. But for each one of you, it's a unique day and will be a memorable one for the rest of your life. This is the first day formally for you as part of HPNLU. You'll be associated with this learning space for 5 years, translated as 1,825 days, or 43,800 hours, or 26,28,000 hours, minutes, or approximately 157,680,000 seconds. You may wonder, have we joined a law school or a statistical institute? But I want to tell you that this is your life. As a lawyer, your life is not just logic, it's about your time management. Because after all, justice delayed is justice denied. So obviously, people used to think you don't know mathematics, you can't be very disciplined, join law once upon a time. But today it's a different context when you're coming to a law school. And in a different context of the country where it is today, that it's a huge time management which is part of it. Now, each one of you, in my opinion, are destined to create a mark in your chosen career. Such an achievement starts in a methodical as well as creative management, which I gave you the stats. You are towards a particular goal, but the goal is not a fixed one. It is a moving target. Remember that. The moving target is lifelong, and you will only rest when you leave this planet. In the legal profession, whether it be academics, lawyering, or even as a judge, your thinking hat is always worn until your last breath. Different faculties today, after this inaugural thing, will unravel to you the various components of learning curve in terms of the infrastructure here, the processes in the course of the day. My assignment is to perform as an invited guest to sensitize you. And it's a tricky one. How to do a 5-year roadmap in terms of your career. Talking about what will be the future after 5 years, I am not Nostradamus to predict. And please don't believe in any Nostradamus for that matter, because you set your own path. Nobody is going to predict, and I'm sure that you can see your sunshine or to talk to an astrologer for fun, right? But don't take them as serious, because your life is logic and reasoning, not about certain predictions. So if I look at it, life, when you say, it's very easy in medical term what life is. Doctors can tell you what life is with some equipments, with some ECG, with certain parameters. They tell you how healthy your life is. But if you're going to talk life as a lawyer, when you really look at it, it's very complex. It's much more than the parts. It's woods rather than the trees. So it is a complex stuff, which as a student I'm talking, not even as a lawyer, which you'll graduate after 5 years. Your life next 5 years will be a mixed emotion of love, affection, friendship, laughter, sacrifice, hard work, positive side. There could be few negative sides, but today is not the day we talk about it. We start with the positive note, what your 5 years means. So all of us will live for this new day, every day, and we want a certain amount of stability or certainty. So we are creatures who swing between what is and what ought to be. What is and what ought to be. So this is a primary thinking hat of a person who has chosen legal profession compared to many other professions. Now, if I put it, three things we can contextualize. One, to an extent, the past, the present, and the future. I need not tell about the past. So my compatriot Vice Chancellor is here. I think, this year of you entering the law school through CLAT, all the ingredients of a court drama was there, right? I think, thanks to some petitioners, CLAT became so popular, all over India that people never knew about CLAT. Now know there is something called CLAT, and which every High Court is discussing, every Supreme Court is discussing. So fantastic that much before joining, practice started, right? For many, that's very interesting for us, right? We welcome that, and I'm pretty sure I told my people in the council in consortium there could be double the cases in the coming year, right? So that is the life of law, and that is the life of justice. After all, that otherwise it's very astrological. Nobody likes it. So everybody wants to challenge. Everybody wants to do. So the past I need not tell. So you have gone through all the soap opera in a way, and then you've chosen a place. So the moot point is the present. What you want to do in this space and the time scale. You may not have a minute-to-minute agenda of your association here, but you might have had a broad plan. This might be clear in some parts, may not be clear in many parts. It can be abstract in some parts, it can be confusing in some parts, or it may be even intimidating in some parts. Let me tell you, you are not alone in such rainbow of emotions. I was like you on the day one as a fresher, joining a course. And I'm pretty sure all your teachers also would have been in some similar frame of mind, what you were as a fresher when they did start their, education. So my address, what I want to tell you is very simple. I want to think one moment. Why did you choose law when there are much more return of investment paths like engineering or medical, many things? Better return of investment like mutual fund, being an engineer, being a medical doctor. Some level it's guaranteed. But let me tell you, law doesn't guarantee you. Law doesn't guarantee you such rosy thing. Then the moot point is, why did you choose it? If I put it the other way, you didn't choose law. Law chose you. You didn't choose law. Law chose you. Very metaphysical when I'm talking. You may say, sir, why has law chose me? Let me tell you. Maybe you're a person who is looking for certain fairness in life. Maybe you're a person who wants to treat others the way you are treated. Maybe you're a person that is justice should prevail. Think back. Think back. You will suddenly find yourself, your inner personality trait, which has outward, you would have been advised by your peers, or your parents are lawyers, or somebody else told you this. But the fact remains, you choose, end of the day. When you choose, something has developed subconsciously in you, and you're only now formalizing it through a legal education. You can try to get fairness, even in a road, some problem happens, you can go and side with somebody and tell this is right, this is wrong. But you are formalizing it through a very complex system, because it is very easy in a period where they sat under a tree and managed two fighting parties. Today we are in a complex world which requires a very nuanced way of dispute resolution, and legal education leading to become a lawyer is one such thing. So that's why I said it does not have a head start like a techie or a medical. It's a grind, let me tell you. I think advocates are, yes, they know what it is, right? It's a grind. And some of us who don't want to grind became teachers. Much more guaranteed pay commissions. Yeah. So it's a grind where people do, but still, it's worth the grind. It is worth the grind because two ways. One is it really satisfies what is inside you. I'm proudly trying to argue, put something. Second, I think after the grind, life is very easy. In fact, by the time you earn a lot of money, unfortunately, you won't have time to spend it. That's a different part of every lawyer's life. But still, it is a very, very exciting thing. So if I look at few more points which I thought I'll tell you today is what is the lawyer you are really admiring? Right? Today, I think when we study, law will be reported in newspapers, any legal decision once in a week or once in a month. Today, I see every front page of a newspaper or a television. It's all about cases. It's all about courts. It's all about, right? So, when I pass through Bhagavan Das Road, outside Supreme Court, there are always 10 vans parked throughout 24/7 because one may say that suddenly legal education also in terms of a lot of imagination has come off its age and people are looking more and more about trying to refine and get solution through law. So obviously we are looking at a lawyer. But if I say who is the lawyer you admire, that's very important. Whom you want to emulate, that's also important. It is not a lawyer whom you should admire who is more counting the bank balance. It is not the lawyer who admire that sitting in a resort having a siesta and sipping something, but it is the lawyer whom you should admire who can go at midnight and knock the door of judge's house because they want a relief for some hapless people. Right? We have seen this many times. When judges have applied midnight, they do meet and try to see. So you can see these are the people whom you admire. I am not telling that you are not going to earn money, but what I am telling, who is my role models, how I am going to really do that. But as I told you, that earning is no big problem in law. But the question is, what is the inner satisfaction you're going to have? So this is one important part. Or in other words, in political science, we used to deal with this concept called power. Power and authority. And power is something in the world without power, nothing moves. But we also know that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely the same. So what are we really talking legal profession? I use the term empowerment. Empowerment is for power for and power over. There is instances throughout history, power over, trampling others. There are power for. Remember the people whom you remember in history, a Mahatma Gandhi, or a Nelson Mandela, or a Martin Luther King, or a Mother Teresa. These are all people, what power they had? They had power for. They had power for the people, not power over the people. Power over the people, you can easily tell a Hitler or a Saddam Hussein or no people who have gone down. So it is very, very important that the question at this point of time, when you are shaping your mind process, the way you want to do your path, also to have your own heroes, your own role models, what you want to do. This is, after all, what we are is what we think. What we are is what we shape in a particular time and period in a space like a national law school. So it requires quite a lot of things. Moving to present, I am also want to refer that it will be a mixed bag you will face. You will have excitement and disappointment. Sometimes you have success. Sometimes you do have setbacks. You have hits and misses, recognition and sometimes rejections. But it's important, how do you handle contradictions? That is another part of the story. Not just reading law, it's also growing up as a professional means. How do I manage contradiction? Good things will always be with you. You don't need to waste time thinking about it. What is your weakness? Where is things I am going to fumble? Where I am going to think, I need to improve. This is what you will be concentrating in the next 5 years. your assets will come down with you. It's not a problem at all. But where are the shortfalls, shortcomings? This is where you will work as your own psychiatrist, right? You should not spend money on psychiatrists, I say. Nowadays, it's an increasing trend. But you should be your own psychiatrist. Our generation was fortunate. My grandmother was my best psychiatrist, right? If I have any problem with anyone, my grandmother will tell, I'll come and kick them. And I feel so happy, right? Please, psychiatrist. But nucleus families, we don't have joint families. So, which means every lawyer, in my opinion, is a psychiatrist dealing with a client. You are an accountant managing your affairs. You are a diplomat when you are putting things before a judge. So, in fact, you will be wearing multiple hats. And this multiple hats doesn't come only reading in law books. It comes reading outside law books. Developing a taste in fine arts. I'm pretty sure all NLs use that opportunity to be with music, to be with arts, to be with plays, to be with many of the other finer aspects of appreciation. So it's good to read Roscoe Pound, but equally good to read a John Grisham novel, right? It's good to, what you call as, see a documentary on law, but it's also good to see a movie like My Cousin Vinny, right? Which tells about what is lawyering. So it is very, very important that you balance yourself on this. So if I come down, one aspect I want to tell is that you are a commune. I was talking to Professor in the morning, casually checked with her how many states people are here. She said 26. This is a case with many NLU, all NLUs. Every NLU is a mini India. Every NLU is a mini India. We come from school level, we do have only our own tribe, our own language, our own culture of a state. But coming to NLU is, in fact, I used to think in this 30 years of experiment, NLUs have contributed to a great level of nation building by bringing in, different people together. Even teachers come from 14, 15 states. I've seen in many law schools. So it is a very important thing. And in such case, let me tell you, as a commune, you people come from different backgrounds. Some are fortunate with financial stability, and some may not have that. Some are blessed with educated parents to guide them, and some may not have such privilege. Some may be gifted with multitasking, and some may be handicapped with such talents. So these contradictions, challenges, how do you overcome? It's very, very important. What you do in profession later develops here. That how do I treat my fellow students? How do I treat who are, not up to the mark, who are having some natural handicaps? How do I treat people who are different from me? That's very important. How do I treat people with a different sexual orientation? This is very, very important. How do your gender thing comes? It comes from you, right? It comes from the educational thing. That's what is going to be reflected finally when you are in a career. So it's very, very important that it's time, if you had certain notions in your mind at a younger age, it is time to refine yourself and to look at equity, look at equality, look at that everybody is talented in their own way. Everybody deserve that dignity. This you need to practice. This has to be there because it's quite often, I've been a chancellor sometime and I've been in top law schools. We find some clashes. What are these clashes? I only tell them, I'm so pained. How can, as upcoming lawyers, you can now clash on religion? How can you have clash on caste, other things? But see, look, when you are coming as a lawyer, you are in such a pedestal outside world when you come. And how could, you do this? I can understand people who are reading some other subjects may not get into nuanced way of understanding human behavior. As lawyers, in fact, I'll tell you, you should have a universal outlook. A lawyer throughout the world, any lawyer looks at justice in a universal way. So that is very, very important that we treat our compatriots or our colleagues very important, because this is an important thing which you should start imbibing from day one when you are spending time. So if I come back to close it shortly, because they used to tell in a competition, between a mother and a teacher. Who will win? The answer is the teacher will win, not the mother. The reason being, the mother can put only one child to sleep at a time. So before I could put many of you to sleep, I thought, okay. So now, at least to wake you up, I said 5 things, at least do's and don'ts, you call it. One is, they call the word the devil is in details. This is especially for lawyers. Approximation, generalization. You said some terms like maybe, I guess, could be, throw in dustbin. This is not in law. Maybe, I guess, could be said. No, your case is packed. So it's very, very important. You need to work on the details. Right? It is not, a poet doesn't need details. A painter doesn't need details. They just convey something and people appreciate or you don't appreciate. But in your case, what you do is going to affect your client. Remember, it is not your own, philosophy and things like that. You're representing a client. So that is very important. Second is your analytical ability. They say all data is not information, right? All information is not knowledge. All knowledge is not wisdom. But we need data, we need information, we need knowledge. But wisdom is something which, when you're perfecting all this, then you come to where the balance lies, how do you take it. So it's very important, analytical ability. Third one, legal language and communication. That's very, very important. End of the day, how do you get things done? By communication. You get things done by communication. So that's what, we may be good in language in a different sense, but legal language is something which your other lawyer understands, your judges understand, everybody understands. So it's very important that you start perfecting your legal language and communication next 5 years if you're going to have a meaningful career. And fourth one, I would say that you may be personally liking golf, to play golf. Nothing wrong, play golf. But law is not golf. Law is football team. You need to work with a lot of people together. You need your researchers, you need your juniors, right? You get things from different places. So it's a huge teamwork. Where does the teamwork start? It starts here. The way you work for a moot court team, it starts. And finally, it is about creative thinking. That's what I said. What differentiates between a set of lawyers with another set of lawyers is those who are creatively thinking are on the pedestal. Those who don't are pedestrian. Right? So if the choice is yours, how do you want to develop next 5 years to do this? And I am also, like you, a student in a university. It is called the WhatsApp University, right? So the WhatsApp University also throws few things. I will tell few things about few nuggets from WhatsApp University which I learned. One is hard work puts you in a place. Hard work puts you in a place where good luck can find you. Right? Hard work puts you in a particular place where good luck will find you. Don't think good luck will favor everyone. Right? It is choosy. It wants to do with people who do hard work. Second, you can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring the reality. Right? So don't be romantic that, after all, another 48 hours is there for exam. Right? 48 hours, yeah, exam. That is ignoring reality because you can't do anything in 48 hours. Right? So the consequences will come when you start writing repeats. Right? Consequences comes afterwards. So remember that. Third is courage is being yourself every day when the world wants you to be someone else. The world always think world is not a great place. It will tell you you should not be like this, but you should have the courage. And these people with individual courage have changed human history. Have changed human history. Right? It's simple for Mahatma Gandhi to get out of the compartment because a white man is telling get out. He could have just got out, he would have continued his career as a good, lawyer. But he stood up and he could change the fate of a nation. So it's the individuals, when they said the world will advise you, you are not practical, you are mad, you will lose. But it is the individuals who make a change, develop that particular thing. Next is what I said is you will not be able to control all the moments in your life. What we can do is control our response to what happens. Many things are not in your hands. Be practical. But how do I react to something? That you can do that. That is very crucial, in my opinion, for youngsters like you. And most importantly, there are two things which will define you in your life. Your patience when you have nothing. When you have nothing, your patience will define you, and your attitude when you have everything. People have to be patient when they have nothing. Most importantly, when you have everything, what is your attitude? Do you remember when you had nothing? Do you remember what happened to you? What was there? But when you have everything, are you going to understand how you went? This is very, very crucial. So, if I say in a little jurisprudential way, right? I don't want to scare them on day one of jurisprudence. Jurisprudence is actually a lovely subject. Many times people don't like it because I ask them who taught it. So there is an article by Margaret Thornton in an article called Portia Lost in the Groves of Academy, Wondering What to Do About Legal Education. That is the title of the article. She says, law is at the intersection of the ideal and real, of the metaphysics and the magic, of the actual and the possible, of the ideas and power, of fact and value, of ease and ought, of the past and future, of the individual and the social, of the economics and politics. I don't think so. Somebody can put it in few lines about the breadth and length, what law really deals with you. So this is very important. As you say that, importantly, last when I wind up, I consider this very, very important. As a lawyer, you will be immensely successful and also immensely will be professionally good if you develop a sense of humor. That's very important. With the danger, with all the law books and the 5 years of rigorous thing, you might lose your sense of humor, right? And then finally, it becomes very trap for you and trap for others, and mostly your family members will not like you if you don't have. That's why I said what I say, that as a lawyer, let me tell you, I hope none of them are married till. Okay. So it's important that for a lawyer who gets married, and when the priest asks you, are you getting married? They say, husband and wife. They say, you have to tell, will you be loyal? Will you be, and then you have to tell, I do. But the lawyer typically says, I accept the terms and conditions. That's important. And after all, let me tell you, even during Christmas, Santa comes with a clause. He doesn't come alone, he comes with a clause. And also, this attorney who met the client, the accused, he says, I have some good news and some bad news. Which you want me to say? Obviously, the accused is waiting for. He says, what is the bad news? The bad news is your blood all over the crime scene has been proved in the court. He was stunned. Then he was curious. He said, what is the good news, sir? When they tested the blood, they found your cholesterol is 130. That's the good news, he said. So, what I am trying to tell, that, and Honorable Justice is here, and justices also will be very happy to have a, what you call it, the lively courtroom, and the lawyers are humorous. Otherwise, you make the judges less humorous, because with the way what you people do, right, will make them, lose their sense of humor, right? So there was this judge where he was meeting a person, and the defendant said, he asked, "Where do you work?" The defendant said, "Here and there." The judge said, "What do you do for a living?" The defendant said, "This and that." Then the judge said, "Take him away." Then the defendant said, "Sir, when will he be released?" He said, Judge said, "Sooner or later." So you understand, all these are all coming as part of your thing. That's why I said, end of the day, keep your sense of humor always, right? During your triumphs and tribulations, everything. And thank you, and wish you all a Godspeed in your legal education journey with start. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You have beautifully and humorously conveyed that with the hard work, discipline, and moral clarity, each of them holds the power to become not just interpreters of the law, but instruments of change in society. Thank you, sir. As the ancient Sanskrit shloka beautifully says, Vidya dadati vinayam, vinaya dadati patratam, which means knowledge gives humility, humility brings worthiness. A torchbearer of justice, whose words today shall not only enlighten but plant the seeds of wisdom in every budding legal mind. Now, with deepest respect and great privilege, I most humbly welcome the President of the program, Honorable Justice Sandeep Sharma. Your Lordship began his career as an advocate with the Bar Council of Himachal Pradesh in the year 1993 and practiced in the Honorable High Court of Himachal Pradesh in various branches of law. Prior to elevation, His Lordship handled various cases including civil, criminal, constitutional, company, taxation, corporate, and insurance, and also remained the standing counsel to CBI, BSNL, Central Excise, UGC, and Armed Forces, including others. His Lordship was appointed as Assistant Solicitor General of India in the year 2004 at the young age of 36 years and was designated as Solicitor Advocate in the month of June 2014. Lordship was elevated as Additional Judge of High Court of Himachal Pradesh on 12 April 2016 and confirmed as Permanent Judge on 8 January 2018. Your Lordship, your life and work echo this path of wisdom, humility, and justice. We are honored to have you here to guide our young legal minds today. Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Professor Dr. P.T. Saxena, worthy Vice Chancellor, this esteemed institution, Professor Dr. V.C. Vivekananda, worthy Vice Chancellor, Bayatullah National University, Raipur, Mr. Akshay Pathak, Principal Associate, Patan and Company, Professor Jamwal, guests and faculty of NLU, and my dear young friends. Certainly, I won't scare you, and I won't talk much about your future pursuits, because I want you to spend these 5 years peacefully and aspiring for something higher, which you would, I'm sure that you will learn in upcoming years. I don't want to scare you, don't want to tense you. And let me tell you, they may have spoken with their experience, but you are going to have a wonderful life for at least 5 years. And I must know you all must have watched movie Zindagi Milegi Nahi Dobara. My daughter just made me to watch this movie a few days back. So let me tell you, these 5 years which you are going to spend, these years will not come back again. So enjoy it to the fullest. Put maximum hard work and same time enjoy your life also. You have to work hard, you have to study, you have to, achieve good score, you have to simultaneously both you have to, but let me tell you, this is the time which you are going to enjoy maximum. You have to make friends. You are going to learn so many things every year. I think, quarterly, you'll be meeting new people from different parts of the country, different fields of the law, administrators. So this is the time which you will in future would miss. Let me tell you, if somebody asks me, so what was the best time of your life? I say that the time which I actually spent in university. I really miss my friends and the time we shared and cracked jokes and friends which we made at that time. They are still continuing, and that would be your real wealth. It is my pleasure to address you all on this occasion of inauguration of session 25. I congratulate to the students who have taken admission in this esteemed institution this year for choosing novel and dynamic field of law and appreciate their choice. The National University here at Gandal is an esteemed institution in its field, having name and repute. In the past, many students have graduated in law and are giving their services to the public at large in the field of law. I have been associated with NLU for the last so many years. In fact, right from its establishment, I had an occasion to see the working of the institution and the quality of education being imparted to the students. So I'm quite hopeful that your entry in this institution is the first step towards realizing your dreams. And since you all have chosen this esteemed institution of repute, you will get best education and study environment. A piece of advice that I would like to give you, all my young friends present here, especially the new entrants, would be to keep aloof from all kinds of bad influences. Though this institution is a very good discipline, but yet would like to caution you, my friends, to avoid all bad influences, avoid getting into bad company, which otherwise I hope you will not get here. Respect your mentors. Every staff working in this institution, be consistent in your studies. Try to gain experience from every field and hone your skills, improve your knowledge, and arm yourselves with best of education, knowledge, and expertise. As the president and as a person, I assure you all of my help at any time in case you need an advice, counseling, though I hope that all these things will be best provided to you by the university as you have got a very good, competent, and helpful faculty. You are ever there who are ever ready to extend any help to you at all times. While pursuing your law course here in the university, I hope and advise you to protect your values. Your studies will make you a scholar, but what will make you a good human being is your values, your ethics, and your perseverance to serve the society. Be a good citizen, a good soul, and productive member of your society. This becomes more important since after graduating in law from this institution, you would be practicing law. As a lawyer, disseminating justice if you become a judge, helping frame effective and productive rules in case you choose to join the public employment as a law officer, otherwise, etc., etc. And in that case, you can render effective service to society and you will render effective and meaningful service in case you all imbibe all the above qualities. Legal profession is not a merely profession to earn a living for yourself, but you will become voice for the downtrodden. And I hope you all will do your best to serve the interest of society, especially of those who are in dire need of legal assistance. I hope you all become empowered and enlightened with legal knowledge and serve the society with utmost integrity, honesty, and sincerity to the profession. After graduating law, I hope that you bring good name to your legal fraternity and become good lawyers and judges or whatever field you get to put your legal knowledge to work in. Though you, my young friends, are still in making, but when you graduate in law, I hope that your effort is to mitigate dispute, reduce litigation by making efforts to settle dispute, and give more importance to society, the litigants, and general public while keeping aside pecuniary considerations. Since you all, my young friends, have chosen law as your field of action, I wish you strength, wisdom, and perseverance filled of law as demanding it is also rewarding. You will not get you will not only get to fulfill your dreams, but it will also satiate your spiritual appetite. Purposely, I have not talked about your future pursuits and whatever you want to achieve, because you have to spend 5 years here. During these 5 years, I'm sure you are going to learn by yourself. You may set a standard for yourself what time to do, because during this span of 5 years, you will be meeting a lot of people. Teachers will be sharing so many things. They, while teaching their respective courses, they would guide you, and you yourself, while reading law, would decide for yourself what to do. And let me tell you, no need. There is no substitute to hard work. Hard work is is the key to the success. You know that. But let me tell you, dear friends, once you set your goal and then you work towards that with utmost honesty, sincerity, I'm sure that nothing is impossible. Let me tell you my experience. I have been very, very average student. You are very lucky and fortunate to, getting a chance to study in such a prestigious institution. I passed my law in '93 from HP National, this Madhya Pradesh University. During our times, you know what people used to say, that person who nowhere gets admission finally gets admission in law. But today's scenario has changed, as Dr. Uh, Vivekananda said. Today is the most sought for course, like NEET, like JE. People are really fighting for this. Lakhs of people are sitting for this course. Why? Because there's a lot of scope. And as Akshay said, as Dr. Vivekananda said, that ultimately this is the profession which can give you the sense of satisfaction that in any capacity I'll be able to serve the society. I'm sure when I joined practice in '95, nobody was there to guide me. Straight away, I went to High Court and joined practice. But luckily, I could get very good senior, late Mr. P.A. Sharma, from whom I learned how to appear in courts, how to prepare my work, how to prepare my case, how to dress up. These all things would matter. I will not say, because I know in 5 years you learn these all things. But in these 5 years, dear friends, you have to give your best. You have to work hard. For what purpose your parents have sent you, please don't disappoint them. But same time, I want you to enjoy the fullest, but setting limits for yourself. That these are my boundaries. I'm not to cross it. I'm to keep faith on my parents, my teachers, and you have to give them respect. While I was at of your age, so my parents or teachers, sometimes they would scold. They, ये पागल है, हमें ऐसे ही बोलते हैं, हमको ज़्यादा मालूम है. आजकल बच्चे, my young son, daughter would say, Papa, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. But let me tell you, when you will come to our age, then you'll realize the importance of their experience. Then you said, Papa, teachers, they were right. There's a story I will share with you, a small story. Many people must have heard it. This is about the experience of old people. Often we ignore them. But let me tell you, this is very important in your life. Once there was a marriage in one village, but this time youngster decided that they will not take any old people in Bharat because they unnecessarily obstruct us. We can't enjoy, we can't dance. So they said, sir, this time we will not take any old person. Somebody said, there may be a lot of problems. At least 2-3 people you should take. No, we will not. But somebody at least persuaded them. We at least take one person. Or they said, though we will take him, but we'll not show it to anybody in the village of bride that we have brought some old people with us also. So what they did, they put that old people in one gunny bag and packed him and took him along in the barat. When they reached the bride's place, they came on the where people were putting up. They said, there's one stipulation. Bride's parents have said that till the time there's a one, river flowing near the village, till the time you people empty this entire river, उसका पानी जब तक खत्म नहीं होगा, अब तब तक हम लड़की की शादी नहीं करेंगे. अब वो सारे यंग पीपल देवर क्या करना है, कैसे हो सकता है. तब किसी उस बूढ़े आदमी की याद आई कि उसको पूछो, उसको बोरी से निकाला कि अभी ऐसी ऐसी समस्या हो गई. तो ही इमीडिएटली सेड, कोई बात नहीं, नो प्रॉब्लम. उनको पहले बोलो, उन्होंने कहा उनको पहले बोलो आप इसको खाली कर दो, हम दूध से भर देंगे. मैं थोड़ा उल्टा बोल गया. उन्होंने ऐसा कहा उनको कि आपको ये नदी दूध से भरनी है, तब तक शादी नहीं होगी. तो उसने कहा इतना दूध कहाँ से लाएंगे नदी में भरने के लिए. तब किसी उस ओल्ड आदमी को लाए और ओल्ड आदमी से पूछा कि ऐसी समस्या हो गई है तो क्या करें. तो उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. उनको बोला आप ये पानी यहाँ खाली कर दो, हम दूध से भर देंगे. तो खानी, तो इसलिए जो ओल्ड आदमी का एक्सपीरियंस होता है वो, और इट ऑलवेज मैटर्स. लेकिन वो बड़ी बाद में पता लगता, हमें बहुत पुराना पता लगा. हमको भी लगता था कि इनको बड़े लोगों को कुछ नहीं पता, टीचर्स को कुछ नहीं पता. लेकिन जैसे जैसे आपके बच्चे होंगे, बड़े होंगे, रोज एनकाउंटर होगा रियल लाइफ में, देन यू वुड रियलाइज द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ देयर एडवाइसेस. और जो भी उन्होंने कहा, आपको डांट पड़ी, यू आर वेरी लकी. अब तो टीचर्स आर सो फ्रेंडली. एटलीस्ट यू कैन मस्टर दिस मच करेज टू speak to vice chancellor, speak to your teachers so freely. While we were in university or in school, we couldn't even, dare to speak to teachers. Or such a wonderful infrastructure you are going to have, moot courts, exchange programs. What a wonderful facility. I share when I come here for moot courts. During our time, what was the moot court? Last day of our final year, they would give us one paper and say that this is a moot court and proposition. Then teacher would see, he'll ask 2 questions, go 2, and he'll just mark. But I saw what a performance. I'm really proud of the students of this institution. They have secured, I think, much higher places and awards they have won. So you are lucky to have admission in such a wonderful institution. So please work hard and set goal for yourself. Akshay may have said so many things to you, but he's such a wonderful and such a successful lawyer he is. So look at him. Nothing to be, you need not to worry. Don't get tense. Future is waiting for you. There's so many things are waiting for you. When people like us who have come from a very humble background have been able to achieve this position, I'm sure that you are going to achieve it, but with one condition. You have to be truthful, you have to be honest, you have to be humble and grounded. Let me tell you, humility is something which can make you reach anywhere in your life. Humility. You may be very good at studies, you may be very meritorious, but in case you are not a good human being, you are going to fail, let me tell you. Ultimately, you have to imbibe some values, you have to respect your teachers, you have to respect your parents. I'm sure people may call me conservative, let me tell you, but I very proudly say, whatever I've achieved till today, the sole sheer blessing of my parents, my teachers. Otherwise, probably I would have not achieved it, because they blessed me, they gave me good values, so I could reach here. So I hope that you will keep these all things in mind. And one thing I would like to say, though it's a need of hour today, but make minimum use of this mobile. I may be going out of topic, but let me tell you, I was few days back, I was listening to some spiritual master. He said people keep on talking about corona, it's a pandemic. He said no, it's not it was a disease. Time have come, changed, but today's pandemic is this mobile. Please realize this. This is something you have to use very, very intelligently. Use as you require it. Don't stop thinking. Don't make excessive use of Google. अदरवाइज वो समय चला गया, आपकी सोचने की शक्ति खत्म हो रही है. अपना use your brain. Don't much rely upon these information. Even as a judges, let me tell you, government has provided us so many, these equipments, these gadgets, but ultimately we do our work seeing books. We can't rely upon these things. Ultimately, we always fall back on books, and it gives you satisfaction. At same time, मैं आजकल देखता हूँ कि लोग किसी को बर्थडे बोलना है, सामने खड़ा उसको बर्थडे नहीं बोलते, उसको मैसेज भेजते हैप्पी बर्थडे. So I don't expect it to you. Talk to your friends, have interaction, spend, sing, dance. बट ये एक नया फॉर्मूला हो गया, सुबह 50 लोगों को मोबाइल में आप वो बोलते हो, चाहे उसके लिए आपकी कोई इच्छा हो बात करने के लिए. So I may be saying out of context, but this is going to have very much of relevance in your life, let me tell you, in your family, and keep talking to your parents. Because why I'm saying, while my daughter was studying at Pune, symbiosis she was there, I'll keep ringing her. Sometimes she will pick up the phone, sometimes she'll ring, and it really makes parents tense. But that's experience of as a parents I'm sharing. So keep talking to them and keep sharing things with them. And one thing which you have to be very, very careful is with regard to these drugs. You must know who are the people around who can influence you. And you must inform teaching faculty, administration at first opportunity. Sir, we have noticed something like this. But same time, I would request you, in case you find that some of your friend has got involved in this, please don't hate with him. We all have to make a sincere effort to bring him back to the mainstream. You can bring this to the notice of your teachers, administration, certainly, then we can make some arrangement for that. These are few things which you are going to encounter in your 5 years. And one thing in last I would like to say you have a very bright career. As a academician, it is their duty to tell you what you are going to face. And but after having seen Mr. Akshay, I'm sure that immediately after getting your degree from the college, you are going to bloom and you'll have a very, very successful career. Thank you very much.
Your Lordship, we are truly grateful to you for such an insightful, lively, and motivating words of wisdom. We and our students are blessed to have you here, and I'm sure that they will imbibe all your teachings, all that you have said in their conduct throughout their life. Now I invite our worthy Registrar, Sir, Professor Dr. S.S. Jaswal, Registrar, Himachal Pradesh National Law University, Shimla, to deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you. Honorable dignitaries sitting on the dais and off the dais, newly admitted students and their parents. Historical day in your life today. You have got this Deekshaarambh from the dignitaries sitting on the dais. All of you are admitted NLU Shimla and any NLUs on the basis of merit. You appeared in the CLAT test, and the responses you are giving to Mr. Akshay, it shows that you are here with some ambition, you have some target, and it is just beginning and you have a lot to go in future. As it was mentioned earlier that first batch of the university was admitted in the year 2016. So you are the 10th batch of undergraduate program and 9th batch of postgraduate program. We are honored and privileged to have Honorable Chief Justice Sandeep Sharma, Judge Supreme Court of India, with us today. In future, sir, I wish for that. Lordship association with National University Shimla is right from the beginning 2016. And Lordship has been very cooperative in every phase of life. Lordship, we are looking forward also that very recently High Court has established a committee. Lordship is part of that advisory committee. Thank you, Lordship, for sparing your valuable time, and we are looking forward for your blessing future also. We are honored and privileged to have Dr. V.C. Vivekananda, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Hidayatullah National University, Raipur, as a chief guest. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time right from the beginning. You have accepted the invitation and made it sure. And looking forward for your future. You are also a member of our governing bodies also. So thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. We have a role model, Akshay Pathak, with us. He started his career as a student one time and then sitting in this place now on the dais. And he has told you everything where you can reach in your future also. Thank you, Pathak, for your valuable time and guiding the students. I extend my sincere thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor, ma'am, for this Deekshaarambh that we are having today program. Thank you, ma'am. Looking forward to your blessing for everyone in the university and students also in future also. My thanks are due to all the parents. They have shown confidence on National University Shimla. I can assure on behalf of the faculty members that we are having the best of the faculty members in the university. It is upon the students how best and make use of these students. And at the same time, I'd like to request the parents also, please be in touch with your students, kids, whether they are joining classes or not, and keep watch on them. As Ma'am, Vice Chancellor Ma'am told earlier that we are adopting you, all of you, but we seek the cooperation of you and your parents also. I'm sure we'll get the full cooperation and support from the parents. Thank you, Dr. Santosh, Dean Academic Fair. This is your program, and you have worked very, very hard, and as well as your team. And so, thank you very much for this arrangement from other team. All thanks are due to Dr. Sachin also and his team as the Dean Students Welfare. He'll be here with you. He'll study with you, and he's struggling. And thank you for making arrangement for all the students with this program. My thanks are due to all the teaching and non-teaching staff of the university for their cooperation, and we are looking forward to work in a team in future also. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to conclude the session with a message to our students. So, it's not just the end of the inaugural session in the fact this is the beginning. The beginning of your journey at Himachal Pradesh National Law University, Shimla. A journey toward your goals. A journey to fulfill the dreams of your parents. A journey to learn, to achieve, and to deliver in the world of law and justice. हम नहीं कहते कठिनाइयों की धूप ना होगी, चुनौतियों के बादल नहीं गरजेंगे और परीक्षाओं के तूफान कभी ना आएंगे। गौर कीजिए, आप ही के लिए लिखा है ये। हम नहीं कहते कठिनाइयों की धूप ना होगी, चुनौतियों के बादल नहीं गरजेंगे और परीक्षाओं के तूफान कभी ना आएंगे, पर वादा है आपसे हम दीक्षा के प्रारंभ से समापन तक, वादा है आपसे हम दीक्षा के प्रारंभ से समापन तक हर कदम साथ बढ़ाएंगे, हर कठिनाई से जीतकर तुम्हें आगे बढ़ना सिखाएंगे, हर कठिनाई से जीतकर तुम्हें आगे बढ़ना सिखाएंगे। दीक्षांत तक ले जाएंगे, as Vice Chancellor Ma'am has well said, दीक्षांत तक ले जाएंगे। Now I would like to request the gathering to kindly rise for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे। भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Note for you, we conclude the inaugural session for Deekshaarambh Orientation Program 2025. May I now request the dignitaries for high tea and lunch, and I would also request dear students to wait for the dispersal of dignitaries. Right. Yes, there are some announcements for the students. The parents and students are requested to go for lunch at Annapurna Hall near the reception. The parents are requested to reassemble at the Moot Court Hall at 1